What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Brandon, it's Extreme Daily Drivers. Super easy install today. One that everybody needs to do to their car, whether you're driving an old school 91 Prelude or an old school Mazda Miata or a Jeep Commander. You need to do one of these mods, and what I'm talking about is fire extinguisher install. We should all be driving around with one of these in our car, especially if we've done extensive wiring, whether we're adding off-road lights or redoing everything like we have in this car. Having some peace of mind really goes a long way. Now, I know what you're saying, man, this is not the sexiest mod in the world, and I've been putting it off for a long time for no reason other than, you know, my car hasn't caught on fire yet, so I haven't really thought that, oh, I totally need to get one of these. But I'll tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine is a mechanic, and literally like 15 years ago, he's got a 71 Pontiac Grand Prix, and he was driving it somewhere to storage unit or something like that, and it started smoking, and he jumped out of his car, and I think he pulled his t-shirt off, or he grabbed something real quick, and he was able to smother it before it got out of control. But that like 2 seconds of panic, since then he never drives any car without a fire extinguisher. And you know, it's doubtful your car's gonna catch on fire, but if it did, you'd really want to have a fire extinguisher with you. All right, so let's talk real quick about what we're going to need for this job. Obviously, we are going to need a fire extinguisher. I'll have a link down in the description for everything. I grabbed this guy at Home Depot. I think it was $21. It's decent. It would put out a small fire. It is A, B, and D rated, I believe. Nope, I'm sorry, B and C. So B and C rated, that should be fine for a vehicle. I have a quick release kit that I got here off Amazon. I think it's like $25. With the kit, you get the quick release, and you get some mounting, you know, these generic rings and some kind of cool little insulators to go around it so you don't scratch your bottle all up. And that's really it. You are going to need another way to mount this to something. You could use screws, right? It's got holes in it. You can put bolts through there. I've been messing around with this thing, and I've been using these. I dug these up, these old worm gears. Obviously, they've been used, but they've done the trick. So now the way this quick release works is it mounts to the bottle, voila, and then it's got this lever on it. You pull it, and boom, it comes apart. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself, dude, why is this thing all scratched up? Are you buying used stuff? I'm not. I've actually had this on the vehicle in a couple different spots trying things out. So I've actually been using this, you know, putting the bottle on and off and stuff like that. And that's why it's got some scratches on it. This is a really nice piece of kit. It's all aluminum, super lightweight, and lots of mounting options. There's so much that we can do with this. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna undo this completely and then slide these around the perimeter. And what that does is it makes kind of a nice non-scratch surface for this to bolt around the fire extinguisher. All right, now that we got the rubber on there, these things look good and they are ready to go over our fire extinguisher and mount the plate. And this is the plate we're gonna mount to the extinguisher, something like this. All right, now that we got the bracket on there, we go ahead and install the quick release. Slides in, pull the pin, and boom, it's on. So as I was saying, there are so many different places you could put a fire extinguisher. You could put it out of the way, you could put it in the back of the vehicle. And I had thought about all that, and I went through a million different mounting options, and I wound up stopping at the best place to mount it, and that is somewhere in the driver's seat. All right, and the reason is, if you ever were in a rollover or something like that, and you needed to put a fire out that could have possibly, you know, burn you, you'd want to be able to grab it from your driver's seat. So a real popular spot to mount it, and where we're going to mount it today, is underneath your seat. So this is where these little worm gears are going to come into play, because underneath the seat there is a bar, which we're going to mount our fire extinguisher to. Now, if you have a Tacoma, or if you have some sort of like super popular overlanding vehicle, they actually make brackets that you can mount your fire extinguisher to. Make it a lot easier, but honestly, it's just another expense. These brackets are somewhere between like $50 to even like over $100 to mount a fire extinguisher. It's kind of overkill. We're gonna do it with worm gears that we got for free in the garage. So let me show you how we're gonna set this thing up underneath the seat. All right.
There's one and there's two.
All right, let's get this guy mocked up here and see if we can get it mounted. All right, so here we go. This is where we want it. And it's gonna work in this configuration with the gauge pointed towards the interior of the car. I think if I flip it over, it's possible I could clip that with my leg as I get in and out. So I want that side over towards the interior of the vehicle. And now we just gotta screw those worm gears on the exterior of our quick release, line everything up, and I think we're good. So here you can see I got the bracket mounted. I have it slid all the way towards the door, and it's on there really well, nice and tight. And let's see if we can get the bottle on there. So I'm going to slide the bottle in, pull the pin, pull it up, and boom, it's locked in place. So here's the extinguisher mounted up. My seat is in its typical spot, so I didn't move the seat forward or back or anything. And I'm real happy with the way this turned out. Now let's see if this quick release works. In a pinch, pull, and boom, we got it out. So there you go, super easy install. Fire extinguisher mounted under the driver's seat with a quick release. Total price for this install somewhere around 50 bucks. I got a link down in the description for everything. I know your car probably hasn't caught on fire yet, but if it does, you'll be prepared. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time. Later.